Hello horror fans, and this is the assessment of Halloween 5. So after the success of Halloween 4, a year later we got Halloween 5. To me, Halloween 4 is a pretty decent sequel, not up there with the original of course, but it's a worthy successor to the original in my opinion. And then a year later, after Halloween 4, we got Halloween 5, which is not really as good as 4. Let's be honest, it isn't. So I said a year after Halloween 4, Halloween 5 sees Michael Myers resurrected in quite a silly way. Falls down a mine shaft. Is it a lake or a river? Doesn't matter. And then he stumbles upon a homeless guy who, I'm not sure if he takes care of him for a year or just left the body there. Doesn't really make any sense because you'd think he would go to the police. And here's the thing, there's a lot in this movie that doesn't make sense. Yeah, so starting, leaves him there for a year, and then on Halloween night he wakes up. I'm just wondering, did he clothe and bathe him, or it would have smelt after a year. And of course, if you know Halloween, you know what Michael Myers wants to do, go on a killing spree and get his final remaining living relative, who of course is Jamie Lloyd. Because of the events of the previous film, she has become mute. No. But in this film, we actually find out that Jamie has a psychic connection to Michael. Okay, I don't think I'm spoiling much saying, another year, another Halloween murder rampage. And this is the thing, this has some of my most disliked characters in a Halloween movie. There's so many characters I don't like. So rather than talk about the characters I like first, I'm going to talk about the characters I dislike. Okay, first off, I find Tina extremely annoying. I mean, I don't know why. Every time she opens her mouth, I just want her to shut up. I know that's harsh, but I just find her character so grating. And then there's Spitz and Mikey. Spitz is just a massive tool. And Mikey, why is there a 1950s greaser in my 1980s horror film? So, why? It's like Friday the 13th Part 5 has a couple of 1950 greasers in there. And don't get me started on Chuck and Chili in Friday the 13th Part 3. Why would a group of teenagers be hanging out with a couple of 1960s hippies? Hippies. Damn hippies. Sorry, if you're a hippie and I've offended you, then good. Stop being a hippie. Get a job. And of course there's those two idiot cops who have a clown theme playing when usually they're ever on screen, and it's like, why? Here's the thing, I don't mind having humorous moments in horror films, as long as they're funny. But these guys were definitely not funny. Okay, of course, characters that are likeable, of course, is Jamie. Look, Billy. Yeah, Billy's alright. Has the best line in the movie. Cookie woman. That'd be a pretty good superhero. Cookie woman. Superpowers would be to throw cookies at people. Her superpower would be to throw cookies at people. Rachel does return, but okay, just in case you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, I think they killed her off way too soon. She was one of the few likeable characters left. But of course you've got Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, who's, at least he's always watchable. His character's completely insane, but that's part of the fun. You know what else doesn't make sense to me in this movie? How, after the events of the previous year, where Jamie was traumatized, just a year later, they make her celebrate Halloween. To me, that doesn't make sense storyline-wise. She was traumatized by Halloween the previous year, so yeah, make her celebrate it again. I know I'm not supposed to think about that, but I do. I mean, I will say there are a couple of okay murder scenes in there. The pitchfork scene stands out for me because it gets rid of one of my least favourite characters anyway. Although the consensus is this is one of the more disappointing Halloween movies. A lot of people say this is when this series started to jump the shark. And look, in a way I kind of agree with them. There are a couple of good scenes. I'll tell you, the really good scenes and shot really well. I like the laundry chute scene. And of course then we've got the mysterious man in black who, all we know from this one is that he has the same tattoo that Michael has. And what's the connection? Which, of course, if you've seen the movie, they don't really answer it until years later in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. So overall, this one is a pretty average entry with a couple of good scenes, but a whole host of annoying characters. Honestly, it's not the worst entry in the series. I think most of us know which one that is, and it's the one I'll be talking about next. So let us know your thoughts on Halloween 5. Do you think it's underrated? Do you think it's pretty average? Do you think it's terrible? Okay, that's all for now, and I'll see you again soon.